Hey there, crafty friends. Today, we're putting our stamps to good use and creating some unique labels. Because, let's be honest, who doesn't love a good label? But that's not all. We're also revisiting the ephemera storage book we started yesterday to give these little beauties a proper home. Otherwise, they'll just end up in that pile. You know the one, the ever growing mountain of I'll deal with this later. So grab your stamps, your scraps, and maybe a cup of coffee, and let's get crafty. Hi, it's time once again for coffee, crafting, and cats with the Ginger Cat Lady. I'm Pam, and of course, Harley's hanging out with us today, but he may or may not decide to take over my space. Who knows with him? Anyway, today we're diving into creating some handmade ephemera using the ephemera storage book that I started yesterday. I'm so excited to share this project. It's so fun and easy. A big shout out goes to Hickory Art Co. and Tony at Crafty by Tony for the inspiration. The other day I was watching Tony and I saw her creating some labels with her stamps, and I thought, hey, I gotta try this. And that would be fantastic in my ephemera storage book. So if you're crafting along with me, here's what you'll need. A book you no longer want, some stamps. I'm using some blank labels, some numbers, and some words. Mine are from Temu, but you can use any stamps that you have. The inks that I'm using are the archival inks. I'm using Vintage Photo, Black Soot, and Ground Espresso, because who doesn't love those vintage vibes? Am I right? And this awesome vintage register tape roll I found. So let me get my table cleared off and I'll be right back. Honestly, the hardest part of this whole thing is choosing which stamp to use next. I swear I could stare at my stamp collection for hours and still be indecisive. But that's just me. So for this first stamp, I decided to use the whole thing rather than cutting it apart. And you'll notice that it's a little floppy and tricky to control and line up, but you'll see how I make it work in just a few minutes. The reason I'm holding the edge of the book up when I'm stamping is because the page was kind of bent and I wanted the page to be flat. So it was a little bit easier to hold the front half of the book up, stamp, and then lay it back down. You'll notice that I'm not just stamping the text parts of the pages. I'm also hitting up those outside edges. I want some of these labels to be blank so I can add numbers or words to them later. So here you're going to see my hack for making this whole stamp thing work. So what I'm doing is I'm taping the transparency or the acetate to my stamp block to make it easier to stamp. Oh, and a quick tip. I write the type of ink and color on the inside margin of my pages. That way, when I want to color coordinate later, it's a breeze. This is such a relaxing and low pressure activity. You can totally do this while watching TV or listening to your favorite podcast. It's the perfect craft for multitasking. And bonus, actually 2 bonuses as far as I see it, built-in storage. You don't got to go looking for it in all these little tins, right? And you have stuff ready when you need it. All right, so I did a bit of stamping off camera, and look at all the labels I was able to get done in just a couple of hours. Seriously, it's so satisfying to see it all come together. I added some number stamps to a few labels to give them a bit more character, and I'm loving how those turned out. You might notice on a couple pages that there's a few holes in the pages. Don't worry, I've already cut some out to make clusters for my Ideas junk journal. I just couldn't resist. Oh, and check out all the register tape stamps too. I tried to stamp each one at least twice with the same color to get some good variation, but oh my God, look at all that yumminess. This is such an easy and time-saving technique for when you're creating journals. Plus, it's an awesome way to store all those handmade ephemera pieces you'll be using later. Well, I wanted to decorate a page in my journal, but I guess we have to wait because my stupid advisor is currently inspecting my work. But after a brief meeting, he's decided to play with my ink blender instead, so off he goes, and now we can get back to it. I want to decorate a page in my journal using some of these cool labels we made. I'm so excited to see how it all comes together. So as you're watching me do this, the materials that I'm using, the lace that I have right now is from Michaels, and I will link that down below. The butterfly that you can see lying on the table there is created by Julie Bee. It's called the Elegant Rose Butterflies Fussy Cut Pack, and this one is from pack 3. And I found this over on Creative Fabrica. The piece that you just saw me put down, that I tore, is a piece of a ledger label from Seven Plaza from her Bessler freebie US letter, and it also is available in the A4 size if you are overseas. And then the circle label is from Tim Holtz's Idea-ology Ephemera Snippets, the ID Fieldnotes. I will link that down below as well. And then the 2 stamped labels that you saw, one with text and the oval one with numbers, came from the ephemera storage book that I just made. So I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a blast crafting with you. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to see more crafting fun, be sure to subscribe so we can keep crafting together. So here's our final product. And as always, may your scraps be endless and your glue sticks never run dry. See you in the next one. Bye.